What's up, everyone? About to start a pull workout, and what I like to do for my warm-ups is some pull-ups. But I'll grab the bar, arch my back as hard as I can, look straight up to the ceiling or straight to the sky, and then pull really low on my body like a chest to bar, almost like I'm touching below my sternum or my stomach, and that really gets the lats popping, mid-back popping, and I'll do these explosively for, I don't know, 3 to 6 reps. Let's do those for 3, 4, 5 sets until range of motion is significantly starting to diminish. Try it out. If you can do like 10 bodyweight pull-ups, try to do some explosive pull-ups. Really arch in the back as a warm-up before starting your back exercises. Alright, so I feel like it's time to give an update over the past year of my training. It's been 1 year, April 2023. Natural Hypertrophy was kind enough to write me my own bodybuilding program, and so I've been following that for the past year, and I've got a few questions, comments, messages that have said, hey, where's the update? Are we gonna get an update with this program? And every time I see it, I kind of just glance over it and think to myself, I'm not sure what sort of update you guys want. I'm still regularly posting videos on YouTube and on Instagram, pictures of me. You can see me right here. This is me in the flesh. I'm still talking to everyone. All the B-roll that I use in my videos is current B-roll. So, and I've been talking a lot about the program. So I feel like I've been giving updates as I've gone along. It's not like I've been in the dark and I'm, got this big reveal to show everyone. But I suppose that people are looking for maybe a before and after photo, this drastic before and after comparison. It would be great for a YouTube thumbnail, but unfortunately, I just don't have anything like that. I think what it is y'all want to see some skin. I like a good before and after picture too, but the truth is, I just have a hard time. I have some pictures of me before I started the program, and I could take some recent pictures, which I still do, and I post on thumbnails and whatnot. But I could do just this drastic comparison before and after, but it's just so easy to be deceptive or misleading with before and after photos. I could do, a before photo of me depressed and flat and no pump and standing there with bad lighting and bad angle, no flex, and then do an after picture with doing the opposite of that. And there would be quite a bit of a difference, but I don't really want to do that, and I have no intention of doing that. By the way, these straps I'm using are Pioneer straps, Pioneer leather straps. They're my favorite straps. The leather bites really hard against the knurling, and over time they kind of develop this stiffness, so they're not floppy straps. So when I put them on, they just kind of take shape, and they're so easy to put around the bar. This is not an advertisement. It's one of the few companies that I work with. And I guess it is an advertisement. It's one of the few companies I work with, and I have a discount code. It's PAL, P-A-L, Untamed. It's General Leathercraft. Anyways, these are the straps I'm using. Now, back to what I was saying about before and after photos. So I could take a photo that's kind of the exact same circumstance before and after to do a direct comparison, but the truth is it's not a drastic difference. I didn't, this isn't like, Alan's first year of training before and after. I didn't go on some huge drastic cut or huge bulk, so there's a noticeable difference there from photo to photo. I didn't go from fat to fit. I'm not Captain America before and after the secret serum. So even if I did put let's say a half an inch or 3/4 inch on my biceps, a before and after photo is not going to show that. You're not going to be able to see that in a photo, maybe not. Or if I put an inch on my chest and on my lats, it's just hard to see in a before and after photo, direct comparison. So there's just not a huge, thumbnail worthy before and after, I guess. So I don't know. That's why I haven't taken a photo. But on second thought, maybe I will have a drastic before and after photo in 5 years, and I'll share that if YouTube is still around. So I didn't start this program as a test to say, I'm skeptical of this bodybuilding stuff, skeptical of this hypertrophy training stuff. let's give it a test. See if it works. Does bodybuilding actually work? Does hypertrophy training actually work? Like, duh, yes, of course. Does strength training and powerlifting actually make you stronger? Duh. I was not skeptical of it at all. The main reason I started it was because the routine was appealing. It piqued my interest. Strict powerlifting and strongman was just getting a little bit stale. And so I just saw some videos that Natural Hypertrophy was posting, and I said, this routine looks like something I could really get excited about. And I've already talked about that in the past. So I could do this program, follow this routine, while still doing all the compound movements I was doing before, still doing a little bit of strongman, still lifting with some intensity, still lifting heavy weights. I'm just doing a different structure, different routine, different approach, maybe some different sets and reps, as well as more isolation movements. And I really just enjoy the routine. It has not got stale or boring at all since I've started it. Even when I was prepping for California's Strongest Man for a short period of time, I just couldn't wait to get back to hypertrophy training. I just really thoroughly enjoy it. So that was the main reason that I wanted to start. It's just a change in pace. So again, it wasn't going to be this comparison of let's talk in a year, let's see if this really works. Of course it works. Now, the routine wasn't the only thing that piqued my interest. Of course I wanted to build some muscle. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I didn't. Now watch this set. I've really enjoyed supersetting abs with deadlifts or squats. A little bit of spinal flexion, spinal extension. Depending on the ab movement you do, it could be, spinal compression with a squat, spinal decompression with like a hanging leg raise. I really like it for anything, even if not to build abs, just it makes my back and hips feel really good to pair ab movements with deadlifts and squats. Try it out. So I want to give myself a little evaluation, kind of critique my performance over the past year while I was on this program. I want to talk about some things I did really well, some things I didn't do well, or some things I could do better. Maybe also some things that I learned that I'm still learning, as well as just some talking points while we're on the topic. So I'll get it right off the bat. The stuff I did really well, all the important stuff I did well. I did the program as it was written. I didn't skip sets, didn't skip exercises, didn't skip days. I was consistent, I was motivated, my intensity was good. I tried really hard, I actually cared about the program. All that important stuff I did really well. So, it's just my opinion, my observation, but I know that I have put on muscle in a few areas of my body. So specifically my biceps, my chest, and my lats while on this program. And that all makes sense. I've noticed the biggest improvements on those areas. And I think that makes sense because those were probably the least trained muscle groups. That was the low-hanging fruit in my program, just doing strongman training. My shoulders probably didn't grow too much, probably just maintained because I was doing a lot of overhead pressing when I was doing strongman. So I would do overhead pressing 3 times a week, 3 to 5 sets per day that I did shoulders. So that's 9 to 15 total sets of shoulders already that I'm doing. My upper back probably stayed the same. Maybe my rear delts have increased a little bit because I've never really done direct rear delt work, but a lot of upper back training in strongman. So there's not a huge difference doing this. My legs, I've already explained, I just kind of maintained, adjust the program a little bit just to maintain my legs. And then maybe some improvement on my abdominals, like my obliques and serratus, because I've been doing more of that. But anyways, the body parts that have improved most, biceps, I can tell without even measuring that my sleeves fit so much tighter. So much so that I don't wear a lot of my older shirts, the tighter shirts. I just hate the tight sleeve. Feels like a tourniquet in my armpit. So I wear baggier, 2XL or 1XL t-shirts now. So I've definitely noticed improvement there. My pecs have improved. I really wasn't doing much horizontal pressing when I was doing strongman. And I can tell when I run, My pecs actually bounce now, which is not something I used to feel. And then I think my lats have improved a little bit because my shirts kind of stretch this way when I wear them. It could be because of my chest, but I think it's more my lats. I just feel like when I put my tricep down like this, I can feel a lot more muscle back there. And I know this is subjective, but this matters. If you're trying to lose weight and you notice that the waistband of your pants is fitting a lot looser, I'm sure you're losing weight. So my clothes are fitting tighter, upper body. So those are probably the main body parts that I've noticed the most substantial improvement. So these are the Gungnir loadable dumbbells that I've got in my garage. Loadable dumbbell handles. It's got a rail system with the collar built in. So you slide the plate on, move this rail wherever it needs to go. They're very, very clean, very nice, good knurling. They're also very expensive. And then the pads, these are from AbMat, but these go on the end. So when I'm doing presses, I can rest it like this to pop it up or to pop it back down, rather than that digging into my thigh or trying to balance it. So that's my setup, for anyone wondering. All right, a little real talk. I'm gonna be honest with myself and critique myself. I think my biggest critique is I don't eat enough food. So I don't eat enough food to be in this noticeable bulk. Now I'm gonna stop there and say that I definitely don't undereat. I eat enough food throughout the day. So I eat 4 to 5 meals per day. Each of those meals is a decent size. It's got a good amount of protein, good amount of carbohydrates. So I certainly don't undereat. I never skip meals. I never fast. I don't have, bad days where I don't eat that much. Sometimes I'll talk to people in the gym and they'll say, it's 4 p.m. and they'll say, I haven't eaten anything today. That never happens to me. I know some people have bad days where they binge eat or bad days where they don't eat as much as they're supposed to. I don't ever have those days. I really enjoy eating and I love cooking, so I'm always kind of preparing for the next meal, the next few nights of dinners and lunches. If you follow me on Instagram, you see me post my meals quite often. So I do eat plenty of food. I'm not to say that I don't eat food, but I don't think that I eat enough food to just showcase this noticeable bulk of like putting a before and after picture of like, check out Alan's bulk. I do think that training is what stimulates and causes muscle growth, not just food, but it's certainly easier to build muscle when you are eating a little bit excess in food, excess calories throughout the day. So next point, I care too much about my health. I feel like I'm in a job interview and they ask you, what your weaknesses are and you list a bunch of strengths. I care too much, I work too hard. But anyways, this is all the truth. And excuse the down lighting. I know that's favorable lighting, so I'll take it. So I eat what I believe to be a health promoting diet. I eat a health promoting amount of food, and just in my opinion, which does not include a ton of really high calorie foods that I used to always eat. They used to be the staple of my diet when I was on my permabulk. So foods like beef, pork, bacon, butter, whole milk, dairy, ice cream, fast foods, all these things that are very calorie dense that make an easy time for high calorie consumption. Foods that might be ideal for bulking. I don't really eat those anymore. So while I do eat a lot of food throughout the day, a high volume of food, you might say, wow, that looks like 5,000 calories of food, but really it's only like 3,000. A big bowl of white rice, ground turkey, and spinach is not a whole lot of calories. So I eat high volume, low calorie food. Anyways, back to health, where was I? And so I'm just really not willing to gain 10 pounds of body weight just to expedite the muscle building process. Even though if I put 10 pounds of body weight on me, I wouldn't look bad. It's not an aesthetic thing. I would look fine with 10 pounds more body weight. I don't want to put 10 pounds of body weight on my frame if that means it bumps up my blood pressure a little bit. which is something my family has a problem with. Everyone who's older than me has high blood pressure and is on medication or should be on medication, and I don't want to be. So I'm just not willing to bulk up if that means that it increases my resting heart rate, if it increases my likelihood of diabetes or bumps up my cholesterol points. But those are all metrics that for me right now at my body weight are perfect. And so again, I'm not just going to throw on some body weight just for the sake of bulking or speeding up the muscle building process just to get a half a pound of muscle or a pound of muscle more. And I realize that that might make it difficult to gain muscle as quickly. So it might take me 5 years instead of 1 year to put on 5 pounds of muscle. And if that's the case, so be it. I guess I'll just take the long route. And this is all just me personally. I'm not being preachy. You might be able to put on 50 pounds of body weight, 15 pounds of body weight, 1.5, and it doesn't negatively affect your health metrics at all. For me, that's not the case. So I'm just kind of cruising with where I'm at right now with my health. It's really good. And so that's sort of my approach, and that's why I say I care too much about my health. I think that, you know, when I was in my early 20s, the most important number to me was my squat. Now my blood pressure is more important. Blood pressure numbers are more important than my squat numbers. It is what it is. So I'm too active. My day starts between 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. every day. It goes all the way till 9:30 p.m. and I'm active that whole time. I sleep really good, so that's not an issue, but while I am awake, I get a lot of steps. I am extremely active. I clock in 15,000 steps a day minimum, and sometimes upward of 20,000 or more if I have a really active day and if I went on a run. I remember when I went on my family trip to Disneyland, we're walking around all day and everyone's having to stop and sit and saying there, oh my gosh, my legs are tired, my knees are tired. The next day, their feet were super sore. And I'm like, man, this is a light day for me. So when I think about it, I'm walking around Disneyland every day of my life. So anyways, I don't sit down, I don't chill, I don't watch TV. If you ask me about the latest Netflix series, I don't know, I haven't seen it. I just always have stuff to do. I'm a gym owner, I like lifting weights, I like running. I'm a family man, I've got a family to do stuff with. There's always house projects and gym projects and stuff to fix, stuff to improve. My to-do list never ends. And I don't say all this, or I don't live this way because I'm trying to get noticed by David Goggins. That's just my lifestyle. It's how I like to live. I like to be very busy, very active. I like getting stuff done. It feels good to accomplish tasks and check stuff off my to-do list. Now, I don't think this is counterproductive to trying to build muscle. There are plenty of people who work hard labor jobs and still do bodybuilding and powerlifting and strength training and get good results. But if muscle hypertrophy was number one and bodybuilding was the main priority, it's all I wanted to improve, I would cut my daily steps at least in half. I would eat more, move less. I should put that on a t-shirt. Oh, and I would stop running so much. So I like to run. And people ask, can you run and build muscle? Yes. Will running kill my gains? No. I think a better answer, a more nuanced answer to those questions would be, can I run and lift weights? Yes, as long as you don't run too much. Will running kill my gains? No, unless you run way too much. Alec Blennis has said it perfectly. Running does not necessarily interfere with lifting weights, but training interferes with training, or training interferes with more training. I run 3 times a week. Each of those runs is 3 to 4 miles total. That might be slow and steady, that might be fast and slow, kind of road intervals, or sometimes just accumulation, doing track work, fast, slow, fast walk. So 3 times a week, 3 to 4 miles per workout. That's a total of 9 to 12 weekly miles. That is not a lot of miles. That's not so many miles that my body's saying, Alan, we don't get it. What do you want to do? You want to run? You want to lift weights? We just can't build muscle. You're running way too much. Now I've worked up to that. I've acclimated to that mileage, but 9 to 12 miles is not even in the conversation. If I was clocking in 30 plus miles, maybe we could talk and say, you're probably running a little too much. But I think that what I'm doing is manageable. However, that is still, 60 minutes, 90 minutes, 120 minutes of extra training on top of all the training that I do in the gym. And so that's extra training time, extra time in the gym. And that's more calories, more recovery resources that needs to be allocated towards that demand. So it's just something to consider. Again, if I was to absolutely maximize muscle growth, I probably wouldn't run. I'd just cut it out, but I'm not gonna do that. I enjoy running. I think that's another reason why I don't wanna sort of aggressively add weight to my frame or bulk, because running when you're heavier than normal is just not enjoyable.